Oh, these shoulders look so great on camera. I just
They
want to
look,
say.
you look good.
I'm just trying to like frame you now.
And I almost wore like a very like toned down, earthy kind of like dress. And my sister was at my house. She's like, no. Wear that.
I can't do no small talk, no small talk. I'm not with the small talk. Can't be with the small talk.
It is 5 Unscripted, and we're talking all things fashion. I am joined by Thando Ntuli-Sommie. Yes, you got 2 surnames now. Congratulations on getting
Thank
married.
you.
And she is the founder of Munkus, an incredible brand, a sustainable brand, because we're talking all things sustainability. And I've just been very fascinated by sustainability and fashion, and just like really interested in a lot of like the buzzwords that are going around sustainability. And I thought you are the perfect person to speak to. Welcome to 5 Unscripted.
Thank you. Thank you for having the chat with me as well.
So we're completely unscripted, unfiltered, anything goes, girl.
Let's go. Let's speak all fashion, all sustainability.
Yes, all fashion, all sustainability. Let's talk about your brand first, Munkus, because one of the essence of your brand is the fact that it's sustainable. But what does that mean for people that don't understand that? You know, because you're starting to get a lot of brands pop up now and they go, oh, we're a sustainable brand. We're sustainable. We're sustainable. But like, what is it to be a sustainable brand?
I think for me, I kind of focused on what I was good at and what I needed out of sustainable brands. So I kind of looked at layering, kind of creating a capsule collection, kind of moving into how would I mix the essence of my brand, which is closing generational gaps. Okay. I wear clothes that I love. I steal stuff from my mom's closet. She steals stuff from her mom's closet.
Yeah.
And if we can all steal stuff, it means that we are all able to kind of wear things and kind of still be in our own different age groups and rock them in the way that we want to. So I was like, there has to be a brand that kind of works for all age groups, and it's not only targeted to 20-somethings, Gen Z, millennials, or, you know, all of the boomers. It has to kind of be a mixture, and that's something that's true to me. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do layering. So layering, if you see down the runway, if you see any of my items, it's always a few pieces layered up together. It gives you, the consumer, or you, the buyer, the decision of how am I going to wear this today? How am I going to rock this today that makes me feel comfortable? Am I going to have it a little bit more skin? Am I going to layer it with the jacket? Am I going to have the boob tube over the jacket rather than under? But kind of have you play around with how do I make this for me, and giving the sustainability option as a capsule collection.
So essentially you can switch the outfit up every single time you wear it.
Every time you wear it, you can switch it up. However you feeling that day. Munkus is about the sense of home. You know, you're supposed to be able to take on the day the same way that you would when you're at home. Who are you at home? You're the most comfortable person. You don't care what anyone thinks. You can smile, you can fart, you can eat anything you want without feeling judged. Yeah. And it's the same way I want my clothes to feel. So if you feel I'm going to take on the day wearing Munkus in this certain type of way, where I want to cover up, or I want to show more skin, or I want to be more classy, I want to be more fun and bright, you're able to do that in that capsule collection.
I love that so much, because can I be honest, and why sustainability for me in fashion has become something that I'm thinking about so much is because I look at my cupboard and I think, I've only worn this once.
Yeah.
I've only worn this once. I don't know if social media is making that
Definitely.
worse. We don't want to repeat outfits.
No one wants to repeat.
You know what I mean? You're like, I wore this once. I went to a wedding. I bought this. I wore this once. I'm wearing this for the second time today. I decided to be dramatic and wear
she
big
looks
shoulders.
amazing.
Because can I tell you, speaking to a designer is very difficult, babe, because now you're thinking, what am I going to wear? She's going to come here, runway ready, honey, with her latest collection.
Oh, man. Designers wear anything. Anything goes.
Yes.
You don't even have to think about it. Anything goes.
So that's the thing. You buy something, like I remember I'd bought this dress. It's a little bit dramatic. Even I know it's dramatic. The only reason I'm wearing it is because I'm hanging out with you today. But I thought, I've only worn that once. If I really care about being better with the way I consume things, the way I consume my clothes, it means I need to be able to wear my clothes again, wear them differently.
Yep.
And so today I literally picked out this dress. I'm like, well, you can't wear this dress
once.
You have to wear it again.
Yeah.
Even if it's in the studio at the SABC.
Yeah.
So, and another thing that I was thinking is the fact that like how fashion comes back so much. These puffy shoulders that have become
always
a thing.
repeating itself. Yeah.
Always repeating. And I guess you mentioned how you want your mom to be able to wear your stuff. She wants to be able to go to your grandmother's closet and wear things.
Yep.
I find that with fashion coming back so much, that's exactly what we're doing.
That's what happens. I think people always overthink what fashion is and what styles kind of are the it thing. The it thing lasts for a few months and then it's over. And that's because of the whole social media, like you said. Social media, people's attention spans are getting shorter. People are seeing TikToks, meaning the trend cycle is completely different. So before it used to be, we're going to watch the big runways. We're going to watch your Gucci's, your LVMH. Now I'm saying the whole LVMH, which is Louis Vuitton, your Dior's, everything that falls under that umbrella. And then when you see them on runway, it trickles down into consumer commercial markets. So what you find in stores, but it takes months to do that. And then it finally gets to you. And then now it's all changed up. Now you have big Shein, Zara's who've kind of figured out how to take trends immediately, reproduce them in 3 days, and then you're able to have them. Meaning people don't have that waiting session and their attention span is, oh, the next trend is out. They can produce it in 3 days. I'm moving on to the next thing. So the way people think with clothing, it's much shorter than what it used to be, 1. 2, it's like a whole thing of the influencers have more power than what the fashion houses used to before. So if Kim Kardashian or whoever, I'm going to say that lightly, but if they wear something, you want that thing rather than the big house having it down the runway. That's why they use Kim Kardashian for Balenciaga or for, I don't know, now it's going to be Dolce & Gabbana, but they use them as a face because they have that much influence on what people actually buy now. So it's kind of, it's scary. But I also think it's people who don't know how to think for themselves anymore in the sense of how do I dress this item? How do I make it nice for me without only seeing what I saw on TikTok, that one person wearing it? You've seen your dress now, but I can think of 6 ways you can wear that dress, 6 different events you could wear it, wearing it casually, wearing it, dressed up a bit, wearing it in a way that kind of makes sense where you don't stand out too much in a room. Whereas when someone buys it, they're buying it for that one event. They know I'm going to a wedding and they only understand it for that one event. So it's also educating people on sustainability and also educating people on how to dress your clothing.
Is it important to look at the quality of our clothing as well? Because I'm thinking fast fashion, right? And I'm not even going to mention the brand, but you know what I'm talking about. That website that's very popular right now, very cheap. I think you might have even mentioned it, but it's fine. Where people go online, you're getting clothes very cheap. That are probably produced very unethically.
Yep.
And you're able to literally get 20, 30 items. They delivered to you here in South Africa.
Yeah.
And here you are with all these clothes, right? So that's overconsumption.
Overconsumption, and they made to not even last. They know that we're making this super cheap. You're going to get it super cheap. You know yourself, you're not even expecting good quality out of it. So how are you going to think that you're going to take that and keep it for 3 years? You're not. You know you're going to get rid of it or get over it within a week because there's no value in the price. There's no value sentimentally with you looking at it and saying, oh, I really love this item.
Yeah.
You just saw it and bought it without thinking. So there's no way you're going to have care for it.
So essentially what we're supposed to be doing is going to a store. You see a jacket or you see a clothing item and you're supposed to think to yourself, okay, it's not about today only. How can I wear this differently? How can I wear it 6 times? How can I wear it in 3 years?
How does it fit with my style? How does it fit with who I want to be in this period of my life? Kind of thing.
Yes.
And I think we've seen it with Gen Z where the conscious consumer is growing and that's how we have this whole greenwash or the trend of sustainability. People want to know, where did you make this?
Yeah.
Are these small kids making my clothes or what's happening? Like, what fabric is this actually made out of? How long is it going to last me? People are starting to ask those questions and then brands now are reacting to that in a sense of panic rather than let's just all take a step back and do the right thing, So I think Gen Z's got something right in a sense of being the ones to question how things are done. They got that.
Right now, I'm questioning the coffee I'm drinking. I'm questioning what I'm wearing. And I love the fact that I'm not alone. You are all for sustainability. I mean, you did your honors in fashion and you focused on sustainability, right?
Did.
What were some of the things that you learned from that have helped you with the brand that you have built? What are you doing in your brand to just be a little bit kinder to the environment?
I think for me, when I got into that honors, I kind of focused on what is a struggle that young designers have now in South Africa, and it's resources. Our textile industry isn't what it used to be. Textile industries in Nigeria or Ghana, they love and they take pride in their textile industry. They love print, they love dyes, they love using things that they've always used and passing it down to the next person. So now if you are looking at South Africans, we are kind of trying to focus more on technology and forget about the things that we've always been. We've always been sustainable in our practices, whether that was killing a cow, using all its meat up, kind of working with the skin to make clothing, using the bones and stuff to come up with jewelry, or even spiritually connecting with the whole essence of animals. We've always been sustainable. So now if we take back and we look at different practices that we used to do, we used to paint all the time, hand paint. We used to always kind of bead with small beads, and would make the beads out of bottle caps and plastics or anything that we'd find. So it was me kind of taking a step back, looking at things that we traditionally used to do and how we can implement that to kind of grow our own textile industry in South Africa now. I focus on textile printing. I love print. I love color.
Oh, we can see, honey. Oh, yes.
So
your collection's
that's
beautiful.
something, thank you. That's something that I really want to focus on, because resources, especially in print and stuff, it's quite expensive for young designers. That's something that I feel if you can do it in your own studio, you can do it per order, meaning the order comes in, you can make the print on your own, kind of switch it up, and then give that to the client, and it still looks as great as something that was produced in bulk. That has more value, that has more connection to the consumer. A conscious consumer would take more pride in something that took longer and took time for it to be something, a piece of art in a sense, and then they take care of it. So I think,
I really love what you're wearing right now. And
Thank you.
My eye also has just been on that beautiful red dress. It's a red dress,
It
right?
is.
Just bring it over here, Thando. I'm really interested in this dress. It's just really fabulous. So now tell me, this is denim.
So this is a combination of polyester and denim. It's a recycled fabric. So everything was once something else, basically.
Okay.
All recycled to kind of have the same structure of denim, but still also compose actual denim as well.
Oh my goodness, you make your own denim?
Well, I have a source here. So I work with Fabric Bank, which is an amazing company as well, and they source all of recycled fabrics too. So it's a really cool combination.
And I think, when you're wearing an item like this, not only does it look amazing, and the fact that not everybody's going to be wearing the same item because you're making it for that consumer.
Yeah.
I think the fact that you're doing a little bit for the environment as well. Like you'd literally be wearing an item that has been made from recycled items. Absolutely incredible to me. It completely blows my mind.
Thank
Talking
you.
about denim, I heard...
What have you heard?
I heard that you're not actually supposed to wash denim, or you're only supposed to wash it after a very long time.
Yeah, a few wears. Not a very long time, but a few wears.
Okay.
Yeah. You're supposed to kind of wear the denim. It stretches out. It gets softer over time, and then you wash it. If you keep washing it, one, you're letting the color fade out quite quick. Two, you're also messing with the actual feel of the denim. Denim gets softer over time. So if you've bought the denim essentially for it to have the structure that it does, and then over time it will get softer. So if you want to have softer jeans quicker, you're going to be overwashing your stuff.
Oh my goodness, I've got denim here. Wait, I brought some of my own clothes.
Oh.
I've got this piece here, and because I think it's a timeless piece, right?
Yes.
And I think it's a statement piece that everybody should have in their cupboard.
Yes.
But I thought, since we have Thando here, she can actually tell me if I am correct. So I've got these bell-bottom jeans,
Yes.
right? That have come back into fashion. Very 90s.
These are wide leg jeans. These are not bell bottom.
Oh my goodness. You see? Oh, okay. So these are wide
leg.
Yeah. Right?
So
And-
like a palazzo, play on a palazzo. So super wide leg. Yeah.
Okay, so wait, then what's bell bottom? That's when they go like that.
Yeah, they go bigger at the bottom, like a bell.
There we go. So with something like this that's very light already, how many wears? I mean, you can see there's a bit of makeup here already.
Yeah.
So how many times would I be able to wear something like this?
No, you can wear it as many times as you want, but essentially because it's a light denim, you're going to have to wash it.
Yes, okay.
You already have makeup on it.
I do.
I mean, but the sense is don't wash it or throw it in the wash every time. Maybe wear it 3 times before you actually wash it so you can keep the essence of the actual denim intact.
And then the thing is with denim, it keeps looking better and better
It
as
looks
it gets
better.
older.
It looks better.
Especially with quality denim.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Oh, I love that. You know, you've mentioned how as Africans, we've actually always been sustainable. Do you think it is very important for us to look at sustainability from an African context and an African perspective as opposed to, you know, what everybody's saying internationally? So essentially, when we talk sustainability in fashion, you know, does the context matter, essentially?
Context does matter. I think for me, it's always understanding that you need to, all of these terms, not only sustainability, but you need to understand big terms like this as an individual. What is sustainability to me? What kind of impact does it have in my life, in my surroundings, in my environment or my community? So if you are looking at people wearing linen and cotton all the time and it's very a neutral feel, that's kind of what greenwashing is. It's something you've seen on TV defining sustainability because it's easy for people to identify cotton or linen as something sustainable.
Okay.
But sustainable can be a life cycle of a whole item. It can be how long something was produced, how it was produced, even after the consumer, how long it lasts with the consumer before it being passed on to the next thing or disposed of. If you can create a longer life cycle for a garment, that's sustainable rather than producing something, just as we said, that you know the quality is so bad that it's not going to last. It's going to tear after 6 wears. So the longevity of sustainability or the longevity of a life cycle of an item is really important, and also understanding how things are made, how they last in the world, how, you know, after you, what happens to the item kind of thing. So people have to understand sustainability to yourself, to your resources. For South Africans, it's how can we be sustainable with our resources? As I said, you can use it in print, you can use it in the type of garments that you're making, how you produce them. Are you making them in quantities that are so large, or are you making them in smaller quantities? A lot of designers are sustainable just by definition already. Oh, wow. So it's like a circular motion. It's a circular of different things that kind of impact the actual garment after its time with the person.
So designers are sustainable already. They've been practicing sustainability in what they do, as you say, especially if you're doing if you're making something specifically for that client as they order, right? Yeah. Made to order, is that what it's called?
Made to order.
There we go. Now, what happens when I'm not a designer? I'm just Karabo who wants to look good, who loves fashion. I want to be good to the environment. I don't want to just keep buying and buying and buying and having my railings fall off in the house because there's just too many clothes. How can I practice sustainability on a day-to-day basis? So if I'm giving away a clothing item and I'm donating a clothing item I do not wear anymore, and I know that person is going to wear it. Maybe it's like it's what we're
That's
both
being
siblings.
Sustainable, yes.
We're siblings. We grew up on hand-me-downs, right?
Hand-me-downs. We know that very well.
Yeah, so my mom, my sister handing down a clothing item to me. Are they practicing sustainability?
They are. Just you understanding that there's more to the garment's life after you is already being a sustainable thinker in a sense. I think South Africans, if you go into a store, kind of understand what you are buying. Is it something that was produced really quick? Is it something produced in South Africa? That's already being sustainable. If we're looking at carbon, jet fuels, where did that item come from? Did it have to fly around the whole world just to get to you? Oh. How much was the price? How much was the impact with that as well? Who made that? So if you are, I'm going to support local designers, you know, are making things ethically around you. Yes, the price might be a little higher, but you yourself, your value towards that item will also be high in the sense that you want to actually take care of it and keep it.
I think so many of us keep thinking, how can I change the world? How can I make a difference in the world? And it's actually those small little things, right?
Small things.
It's those small little decisions that you make. And if we're all collectively making those small decisions, and if we're all collectively conscious about that stuff, I think that's when the world starts to change. That's when all of a sudden we're having such less impact on our environment than what's happening already. What do you think of renting items. I've been looking a lot at that.
You're a luxury girl. Yes.
Not even luxury items. I won't even lie, right? I do not have the budget for luxury items.
But renting, you have the budget for it then. You can't
You
have
reckon
that.
is that luxury to rent something? Because why I'm saying this is so often you're going to an event just once, right? I made the example of somebody's wedding, or you've got a photo shoot, or matric dance. Matric dance is coming up, and now you need a dress, you know. What are your thoughts on renting a matric dance dress as opposed to buying a matric dance dress? Is it actually more expensive now that you mentioned luxury? Now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, wait, hold on.
If we're looking at the simpler stuff, I was thinking you were meaning like different types of bags, working with different designers, experiencing all kind of senses of fashion and things that you wouldn't be exposed to because of your budget here at home. But if we're saying wedding dresses or matric dance dresses, it does make sense. It definitely makes sense in a way that, one, the garment's getting more use by it being rented. Let's be honest. You would have had it and then put it in your closet, and it would have sat in your closet, and that's that.
Yes.
The fact that you're renting and then the next person can also have it and the next person can also have it, that's a long life cycle of the item. So already you're being sustainable in that sense. Two, a lot of people can't afford, like if we are being realistic about where we stand as a country, if you can rent something out, help your parents out as well, if we're talking about budget, and use the money on something else that you feel could impact your life differently, do that. You know, like give the money to something else and kind of have that special moment in a sense of, let me have my matric dance dress, let me take the beautiful pictures that I want, because in a sense it's about capturing the moment, having the pictures, and then let someone else experience that as well, but have, you know, still some money left over to go on holiday or to save up for school or to save up for registration that comes right after matric.
Yep.
So small things like that. But I think in a sense it is definitely more sustainable.
Because how many people have worn their matric dance dresses again? Or maybe what you can actually do if you're not renting, it's thinking about, okay, I'm going to have my matric dance dress done like this, but how can I reuse this dress?
Again,
there we
how
go.
can I wear it for different events?
Yes.
How can I rock it in a different way? I think I've used my matric dance dress, 1, for the matric dance dress, 2, graduations.
Wow.
And also being a wedding guest, but as a bridesmaid, not not like a randomized guest, not wearing the appropriate clothing. But yeah, you can just understand and be knowledgeable in the sense of, how can I wear this more at different events?
Now, you recently got married, like myself. What did you do with your wedding dress? Did you wear a traditional wedding dress, or you went completely left field?
I had 2
creatives.
dresses.
Yeah.
The first one, I got the wedding dress. I got it bought for my mom as a gift. So I have that. Still waiting for an event to wear that, definitely. The second one, I made the dress. So I made it for a client. It was basically going to be a shoot, one of like a magazine shoot, and they wanted a certain green. So I was like, let me just make a dress instead of trying to figure out where I can find this green. Made the dress. They used it for the shoot. And I was like, I can use it for my wedding as well. So I ended up having dress number 2 as something I made.
Reuse. That's honestly what I'm getting from this. Reuse. Be creative with your clothing and see what you can do. You are an award-winning designer already. I mean, your career only kicked off in about 2019, but already Design Indaba has awarded you. SA Fashion Week has called you the Emerging Designer of 2022. That is massive for somebody who's only just kicked off. What do you think it is about you and your brand that has made people in the fashion world like, whoa, you need to look out for this one?
Well, I don't know. I think for me, I've kind of looked at every collection that kind of steps out as a creative project rather than me trying to fit into this norm of what fashion is or retail is. I got told a lot, is it going to sell though? You know, like, make sure you can still sell it. Make sure it can go into stores. And I was like, I kind of just want to make stuff for me.
Yes.
If people like it, they will buy into my art rather than me conforming to make sure that it's something that can work for them all the time. That whole idea of building your own customer, having your own target market. If people like your stuff, they'll come and they'll support you in a sense. So yeah, it's just a different art project for me in a sense, different collections that kind of show where my brain is at and a story in a sense, but I'm very happy about the support.
Yeah.
I'm sometimes overwhelmed because it has been quite a quick thing. It's been a few years only, and a lot of people have shown me a lot of support. But I think the fashion industry in South Africa is not what people think it is as well. I think it's a very open space. There is enough room for anyone to kind of join and be a part of it. They open you with like big arms, welcoming arms, like, hey, come on, show us what you are about and your kind of chain of thinking. No one wants the same thing regardless. So if you feel like you want to get into the fashion industry, please do.
Oh.
Like creativity in any sense. Like I have an older brother, he's an art director, he's in advertising. He's very young, but he's already reached senior, which is crazy. And then I've had me now. So I've come from a family that supports creativity, and not a lot of people have the advantage of that, where your family just understands that and like they support you in a sense that you're not going to have a lot of money for a long time.
Yes.
More money is going to go out.
Yes.
But it does, at some point, it is worth it. Everything that the time, the consistency, the pressures, the negative bank balances, they kind of are worth it at some point. You just have to be consistent with it.
I love the fact that you say there's space for everybody, because so often we think, oh, it's been done already. Oh, it's been done. And the thing is, part of being creative is being different, and already just the fact that you are an individual makes you different already. Go out there and try. Yeah. I could chat to you. Well, I really, really could. But to wrap up, I want you to finish off these words, right? Mm-hmm. Fashion is...
in Africa's hands, definitely.
Style is...
who you are.
Sustainability is...
around you.
Thando is...
colorful.
And Munkus is...
at home, a sense of home.
Oh, I love that. You are so incredible, Thando. Thank you so much for your time. I think your garments are beautiful.
Thank you.
I think I've learned so much from hanging out with you today. Just really about, I've always thought that if I'm going to be friendlier to the environment, I need to, you know what I mean? Like, do the most. But it's really, honestly, about the tiny little things. Reusing, passing things down to people. How can I wear this item 6 different times? I'm already thinking maybe this dress is not that dramatic. Maybe I might find ways
It's really not.
to dress it up a little bit differently. I'm already thinking sneakers now. I'm already thinking different accessories. You've just really made me realize that sustainable fashion is doable. We can all do it, and we can all make a difference in all the little choices that we make every single day. Thank you so much, Thando, and keep doing the incredible work that you do.
Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you.
Yes, that was Thando from Munkus.
This is 5FM.